Hey everybody, Adam here, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. In one of our previous videos, we discussed diversification and what it means to diversify. Stocks, bonds, real estate, ETFs. But in 2008, a new asset class emerged, and one that has become widely popular with millennials. If you said cryptocurrencies, you'd be correct, and the most popular of which is Bitcoin. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of investing in Bitcoin and how to actually go about purchasing your first Bitcoin, a step-by-step guide. So let's get going. Before we jump into Bitcoin, I need you to do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm and helps YouTube people find this video more often. Show me a little love. Just as a disclaimer, you should never take financial advice from anybody on YouTube, me let alone anyone else. Always do your own research, your due diligence, and seek the advice from a true financial professional. Now, don't be surprised if a financial professional is not yet down with Bitcoin. They're kind of not quite there just yet, but they will be when they see the upside.
Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut.
And look into it for yourself. My mother once told me, don't buy something you don't truly understand. And while I can't teach you everything about Bitcoin within a 10-minute video, I'm going to teach you the bare basics.
Bare basics.
Bitcoin is a digital currency or cryptocurrency that was developed in 2008 by an unknown source named Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin is a decentralized monetary system, which means it has no central banks and it has no central user. It is also outside of the control of a central bank or a national government. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies that are actually being used today. Bitcoin remains the most popular and widely used cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was built using blockchain technology, where transactions are verified by a large network of computers using cryptography, and they're placed in a public ledger called a blockchain. Bitcoins are then created and released as a reward to those networks that are verifying these transactions. This process is called mining. Bitcoin can be exchanged for goods, services, or other currencies. If you wanted to purchase a full Bitcoin in today's market, it would cost you just under $11,000. Now, that's a lot of money. But the good news is you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, you can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. The smallest unit of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi, and that's equivalent to 0.000000001. Bitcoin, just like the US dollar, has a relative value to other currencies. This information can easily be found on coinmarketcap.com, and I'm going to place the link in the description box below for your future reference. Over the past 12 years, the popularity of Bitcoin has exploded. I mean, there's over 42 million active Bitcoin wallets today, but it's not just being adopted by the consumer, the investor like you and I, but it's also being accepted by merchants. One of the largest merchants to date has been Overstock.com, who will actually accept Bitcoin as a form of payment for their goods. So that's pretty cool. It's being adopted by more and more companies as a form of payment. In 2017, they surveyed 1,000 Americans, and they said, if you were to invest $10,000 today, what would you invest your money in? Almost 10% of the millennials that were surveyed said they would invest in cryptocurrencies, and in particular Bitcoin. That says a lot. So while Bitcoin has come a long way, it still has a long way to go. So here are some of the advantages of buying or investing in Bitcoin. The first of which is because it's most popular, it's easy to trade in and out of other fiat currencies. So I can trade my Bitcoin for US dollars or for euro or whatever country I live in. The second would be that more and more merchants are coming on board and accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. It's estimated that right now about 2,300 businesses actually accept Bitcoin as a form of payment, and that number's on the rise. Next, transaction fees. And with Bitcoin, there is a small fee, usually less than 1%. However, when you use other digital payments, most of the time you're paying upwards of 3%, therefore making Bitcoin the more affordable and more desirable option. Next, anonymity. While you can track the flow of Bitcoin from one user to the next, their identity is actually masked by a series of 26 to 35 alphanumeric characters. That's basically just a fancy way of saying combination of letters and numbers. Lastly, Bitcoin has built-in scarcity. There are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created. That is literally it. When that mathematical equation shuts off, it is going to be done, done. But most likely that is good for long-term investing and for holding value against other currencies that the scarcity is built in. When you look at national currencies or fiat currencies, most of them are controlled by the actual national governments, and they can turn that money printing machine on whenever they'd like and put more money into circulation. So there's no scarcity factor in national currency, but there is with Bitcoin, and that's a huge plus. Okay, now along with the advantages come the disadvantages, right? For every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So let's cover some of those just so that you know what you're getting into. With Bitcoin, there are a lot of scams associated with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, so you have to be careful. If someone from another country is asking you to send them money in the form of Bitcoin and you never met them because they're trapped there, do yourself a favor. Don't do it. Hello? I don't even send money to my mother and she asks me twice a week. Secondly, Bitcoin, just like you and I, has a past. And its past isn't all that sunny. It's been associated with illegal activities and black market activity, which doesn't help in the adoption of a universal digital currency. Disadvantage number 3, Bitcoin is highly volatile. If you're someone who is very risk adverse, Bitcoin might not be for you. As a matter of fact, in its history, it's dropped over 70% multiple times, but it has recovered from each of those lows. Next, there's no chargebacks or refunds using Bitcoin. So if you do transact in Bitcoin, make sure you send it to the right person, the right business, and make sure it's for the right amount. Another disadvantage is that there's thousands of other cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin can be unseated as the most popular, which would negatively affect its value. Lastly, Bitcoin isn't the most environmentally friendly. It takes a ton of energy just to mine one Bitcoin. Now that you have background information on Bitcoin, you've probably made the decision on whether Bitcoin is the right investment vehicle for you. In the next part of this video, we're gonna go through a step-by-step process on how to purchase your first Bitcoin or fraction of a Bitcoin. I personally use Coinbase as my brokerage because they make it super simple and it's very user-friendly. So here we go. First thing we're gonna do is log on to coinbase.com and then go to the top right part of the screen where it says Get Started. Once we click on that link, it'll ask us for basic information that you would pretty much use for any website or service that you'd be signing up for. It'll then ask for your mobile number to start the verification process. You'll receive a text with 7 digits that you'll put into the next screen. Once you hit the submit button here, you'll then move on to a page where it'll welcome you to Coinbase. It talks about the current promotion, and you're gonna hit the continue button. At this point, it will then ask for an email verification. You'll then have to access your email, hit the verify button, and then go back to the Coinbase homepage and re-log in. This will give you access to your personal dashboard. Along the top will be several tabs that we're about to walk through. The first of which is going to be portfolio. Here will be the total amount or value of your portfolio, followed by your assets or the different cryptocurrencies that you own underneath. The next tab on the right is going to be prices. Prices will identify all the different cryptocurrencies that Coinbase sells, and it allows you to keep track of the current market price. Next is the Earn Rewards tab. This allows you to learn about different cryptocurrencies. Mostly it's the less common ones, and you can actually earn free crypto by just finishing some videos and some quizzes. So it's pretty cool. The next step that you're going to want to partake in is verifying your identity. So what you want to do is go back to the home screen, slide down and click the button where it says verify your ID. Here, you can either use a driver's license or a state issued ID to verify your identification. Choose one. Next, it'll give you 3 options on how to upload this image. Choose the one that works best for you. After you upload your images, it's going to ask for more information to verify your identity. Then you're going to get the wheel of death. In the past, it's taken Coinbase several days to verify one's identity, but today it actually only took me about 10 minutes to open up this most recent account. You'll know when the verification process is complete because you'll receive an email. At this point, you're ready to go to buy your first or fractional piece of Bitcoin. So here's how we're going to do it. You can buy it directly on the home screen by clicking the Buy Crypto button. It should default set to Bitcoin, and it should ask for how much money or how many US dollars you want to convert into Bitcoin. The other option is to go to the Portfolio tab and scroll down to the cryptocurrency you want to purchase, and in this case, we're going to be buying Bitcoin. Simply go up to the top right-hand corner of your screen, click on the Buy Crypto button. This should ask you for how many dollars you would like to convert into Bitcoin. You'll hit the Buy Now button. And the next page will allow you to actually preview your purchase. So just so that you are aware, there are some fees associated with buying Bitcoin. The smaller amount you purchase, the larger percentage it costs to actually make the transaction. I believe if you buy less than $10, it costs about $1 for that transaction. It's almost 10%. Where if you're buying more than $200, it actually comes all the way down to 1.49%. So there is a benefit to definitely buying in bulk, but by means you don't have to.
And if you just hit that Buy Now button, congratulations and welcome to the cryptosphere.
Also on the top of the screen, you'll notice that you can sell. We have no Bitcoin to sell here, so it won't allow me. And you can also convert Bitcoin into other cryptocurrencies. Again, we don't have any crypto, so it won't allow me to do any of those options. If you know that you want to buy Bitcoin on a reoccurring basis, you can easily set up a reoccurring purchase or transfer. All you need to do is scroll down to the bottom of your screen. On the bottom right-hand corner, you should see Set Up a Reoccurring Purchase. This will give you different options to buy every day, every week, every 15th of the month, or every month on that day. If you want to get started with Bitcoin and use Coinbase as well, use the link in the description below. So that's a step-by-step guide on how to buy Bitcoin using Coinbase, and you don't necessarily need Bitcoin as a diversifying tool. However, I like to use it as a hedge against traditional market fluctuations. If you found today's information valuable, please feel free to share it with friends and family members, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. As always, save, invest, and grow. Ciao, ciao.